Hey, you're tuned into Kana's Corner, and this interview is happening right now. And if you're not tuned in, well, you're going to miss it, obviously. So what's wrong with you? I have a very special guest with me today, right here in the Kana Corner. And would you like to introduce yourself to all the people listening out there?
No, because I'm clearly not very special, so why should I?
Aww, we think you're special. That's why we invited you on the show.
I will accept this very well. My name is Chris Niosi. I am an independent animator and very small-time voice actor living in New York, which you will probably hear the sounds of in the background because I'm currently in my college dorm. This is how professional I am. And, yeah, and I have done many crazy, stupid little cartoons and flash movies on places like Newgrounds.com. Probably most well known for Go-Go Parody Rangers, and I directed the Nintendo and Super Nintendo animation collabs, which are these big spoofs on all different Nintendo games and whatnot, and did some other stuff. And voice acting wise, currently, right now on Cartoon Network, you can hear me as this little guest character on it's kind of obscure show. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Pokemon. I don't know. I think like 3 people watch it. I have no idea. I'm playing a 5-episode guest character on Pokemon Galactic Battle, which is like the season 12 or something, I believe, named Corey. And he's a fun little guy, and I think his third episode is going to come up this weekend, as of right now, on Wednesday night. I'm also involved with some abridged people, as you guys have interviewed before. I'm going to be playing Noah Kaiba on Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, done by my good man Martin, little Karibo.
Oh, very nice.
And I have also done a couple little tiny bits and pieces for other abridged things. I was in BBC Abridged as Ox King and other little minor guys, and some other stuff here and there. You can find it, search Kirb or whatever. And
Now,
that's me.
now, where were you when we did the birthday interview special?
Birthday interview special for what, for Martin?
Yes, we had Crows on, and then we had pretty much Cora and everybody like kind of come on, and we sang him happy birthday on air, and you weren't there.
I've not been around. Oh god! Oh, you know what? I remember telling me about that too. He never contacted me when it was happening. Thanks, Crows, if you're listening, jerk.
Oops, I just got Crows in trouble.
No, it's
again.
Crows is always in trouble with me. You. Well, I don't know.
I actually had to just tell him. He asked, "Did you get a hold of him?" And I'm like, "We're on.
We're doing this right now."
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
But you called your animations. You said like stupid little animations, but they're fun, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I say stupid in the sense of I make like very dumb sort of flash movies in the sense that they're made for sort of a silly like like an MTV audience, I guess you could say, just like not high art. It's just kind of like pure dumb entertainment, that sort of thing. It's made for just a cheap laugh or whatever. There's nothing like too incredibly inventive about it. I made a couple little flash movies online that are more of a serious tone. I did one recently called There Was This One Time, which I co-wrote with the fine folks at Team 4-Star. And that was the first like serious movie that I ever did. Or at least online, the first serious movie I ever did. But a lot of the stuff that I submit to like Newgrounds.com and whatnot is very sort of tongue-in-cheek, jokey sort of thing. And, not meant to be taken too seriously or whatever. A lot of parodies and spoofs of pre-existing material and whatnot.
Now, out of curiosity, why would you choose animation above like webcomics or TV spoofs or sound?
Well, as a kid, I had the stereotypical dream that many geeks had, as I had later discovered that I want to make video games when I grow up. I was always, more than anything, creating characters and stories and whatnot. And, and that was where my real passion came from, was just coming up with concepts for stories and characters and series of some kind, regardless of what medium they were. But video games were what I was most attracted to at the time. And then I ended up taking this class in a computer learning center in Long Island, where I come from. I'm in New York City right now because of college. I come from Long Island. And I took this computer learning center course about Flash, which was my golden program that my go-to thing for all the stuff that I work on. And I was learning how to do ActionScript, which is the coding language for making games and whatnot in Flash. And I was like, programming is hard. Screw this. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to make movies instead because that's easier. And I started doing sprite movies on Newgrounds for a time. I did a series called TV Tome Adventures that went on for about 70-something episodes. And that was my big thing for a while. And I just kind of fell more and more into doing not even necessarily animation, because TV Tome Adventures wasn't really animated. It was just moving, like, edited sprites around to, to be, like, adhering to my story. It was very low budget. Well, there was no budget. All my projects are no budget, but it was,
Primitive, maybe?
Primitive, yeah, I would say so. But it was what I was doing for a while. And I became much more interested in doing actual animation, and then I started going to college for it. In 2007, I started going to the School of Visual Arts in New York City here, which is where I'm going. And, now I'm learning all the tricks of the trade and how to be a quote-unquote real animator, which is also still not even necessarily what my goal is. Like, I love animation. I love animating. I love animation as a whole. I love being part of it. It's what I want to do with my life. But, like, literally being an animator is not what I want to do. It's what I do for my stuff online. But what I really want to do is be more of a director and a writer and a producer and someone who oversees people that are better at those individual jobs than I am. And then as opposed to, I don't know, I've tried doing comics. I don't think I have dedication for. I'm friends with a lot of cartooning majors at my school, and they're all really, really dedicated, incredibly talented comic artists. But I just don't think I have the dedication for doing a webcomic. My friend Cy does a webcomic. And my friend Cy and Dave, who's an animator and who's worked on a couple projects with me, they do this webcomic called GG Guys every week, and that's always fun to keep up with. I love reading webcomics and comics and manga in general, but as for doing it myself, I'm just not very good at it. So.
Now, we were actually talking way before the interview about your sort of major director debut in animation. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So I've been doing, I switched to doing Parody Rangers after falling out of the sprite stuff, because I'm like, hey, I should draw. I know how to draw. I always have. So why am I not drawing for my cartoons? I can do that. So I started doing that in Parody Rangers, and I was beginning to do hand-drawn animation and whatnot. Very shoddy, albeit, but, and then over the summer of 2007, just before I started going to school, I suddenly got this idea for a Nintendo skit comedy thing, a la Robot Chicken. I hate to make that comparison, but that's basically what it is. Excuse me, I had to burp up. And I don't know, the idea just sprung up one day, and I was like, you know what, let's do a Nintendo thing. So I wrote everything, I got all the voices for it in one day, and I was working on it on and off while I was just finishing up the third installment of Parody Rangers, and then I was like, I don't have the drive to animate all this on my own for some reason. It was about as long as anything else I had worked on up to that point, so it was very strange for me to have that reaction. But for some reason, I didn't have the dedication to want to animate everything for it, which was very strange to me. But it was kind of a double-edged sword, because I was like, oh man, am I losing my sense of dedication for being an animator? But then the positive side was I was in a school with a ton of animators. And I knew many animators online from Newgrounds and DeviantArt and different places, and I put out an open call saying, hey, I'm looking for animators to help me with this thing, and we rounded up a little group of people that eventually became the crew that worked on the first Nintendo collab, and it really took off, and I immediately started getting ideas for the second one, and I got pretty much everybody back to work on it, And the second one, specifically Super Nintendo, was a huge hit. And it was a fun experience. It was definitely a little hard. I'd never really done it before, directing other people on their animation, but it was a fun process that really paid off in the end because Super Nintendo is probably one of the proudest things I've ever been involved with the creation of, and I really felt like I was on the ball with keeping everything consistent together. Tom Falk, the creator and head of Programs.com, had lots of compliments for it. That it was one of the best, most well organized, well put together collabs he had ever seen on the site. And that meant a lot to me, and I was really proud of all the other stuff that the animators that I worked with had brought with on board to it. And it's just it was kind of fun, and it's just always a good laugh to pop in every so often. I'll still watch and still laugh at it every so often. So
Well, congratulations. That's certainly a big achievement. But do you plan on continuing it again, or you think you've moved on to other things?
well, a little bit of both because I am certainly moving on to bigger and better things. Many of which I'm kind of in the process right now because I have my thesis coming up for college.
Oh boy.
Which is going to be probably a 5 to 7 minute long complete cartoon. I'll most likely be working with a lot of the same animators I worked on the Nintendo collabs with on that project. Excuse me. And that's going to be like the biggest and best thing I've ever made. I don't know if that'll see the light of day on the internet because if I want to run it in festivals, I don't think you're allowed to release it online. But that's going to be my biggest thing, and my aspirations and dreams involve getting my own animated series. I want to try making some pilots, and shopping some things around to people that I know, and hopefully maybe moving to California within the next couple of years because that's where everything is. There's nothing here in New York apparently.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that too. I'm just one state over, and it's still like California's got this person, this person, this person. Aww.
Yeah, I mean, like I love New York, and I wish I didn't have to leave. But if I want to, do what I've been dreaming of since I was just a little guy, I really do have to move over there if I want to pursue all that stuff. But yeah, but as for the other side of things, I mean, regarding my online projects, I'm working on a few different things right now. Probably over the summer, I'm going to end up finishing the Parody Rangers feature movie, which I wrote in 2007, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to finish it. I've just been so distracted by other things and schoolwork and whatnot. But I want to put a cap on that franchise, as it were. You can't see the air quotes right now.
Maybe some of our listeners are spying into your window.
Yes, they can see me. The cameras. And yeah, but that'll be something, and I've got a few other projects and whatnot that I still would like to do. So I'm certainly moving on to bigger and better things, but I also don't necessarily want to leave behind the sense of fun that I have with doing crazy little stupid things online. I mean, like over the past summer, on a complete whim, I was like, hey, let's do a Transformers thing, and I made this really really genuinely stupid little parody of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Which is not funny to everybody. I don't know. It did all right. It's not my favorite thing I've ever made, but it was good for a chuckle and whatnot. It was fun to get everybody working on that. I had a lot of fun people to voice direct on that.
Very cool. And it seems we have to take a short break for some messages.
Sure, I'll take a break. I've been talking way too long.
Not at all. We enjoy Talkaholics. Just make sure to stay tuned to 91.8 The Fan, everything you want to hear and nothing you don't. And we'll be back to this awesome-tastic interview. Don't go away. 91.8thefan.com. Have you logged on today?
Who, me? No. No?
iStock's daily news show, video reviews, articles, forms, and an anime directory. Don't get left behind. Log in today. Only on
918thefan.com?
918thefan.com.
All right, 918thefan.com.
If you just heard a really confusing song that you've never heard before, that was not my doing. That was actually our guest's wrong dude. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry you had to listen to that.
Can you explain a little bit about what that was all about so our listeners aren't so confused?
Sure. So one of my exercises, quote unquote, can't see the air quotes again, but is I like to pretend I can sing. I can't, but I do it anyway. So One of my hobbies is occasionally I'll remember a video game background music track or something that I like, and I'm like, I know, I'm gonna make an acapella of it. So I whip up an Adobe Audition and record a few tracks of myself singing it again, and put those up. And the one you just heard a second ago is a acapella slash song of Witchy World from Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Kazooie. And I wrote a little song, I guess Parental Floss style, but that was before I had known who Parental Floss was. But in the style of insert name of video game music here with lyrics that I had come up with just on a whim when I was in the Banjo-Kazooie phase. And yeah, I've done a bunch of those. Those are all on my Newgrounds profile, which I'm assuming will be in the show notes and whatnot. So, yeah.
Indeed it will. We will post it up with the archive. And I'm wondering, because we've been talking about video games quite a lot, are you playing anything interesting right now?
Just finished Chrono Trigger. It took me all these years to finally pick up a copy of Chrono Trigger, but I got it for DS for Christmas recently. And I love it. It's one of the coolest, probably one of the best time travel plots I've ever seen in anything that I've ever come across. Really cute, endearing characters. I love Akira Toriyama's art style, of course, with the character designs. And it was a lot of fun. I got from what Crows is telling me, the you suck ending, like the very basic one. Or I don't know, like the really generic, like everything's happy, you win sort of ending. I don't know. There's like 18 other endings or something, and I haven't gotten any of them, but yeah, there's that, and I'm looking forward to Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver coming out in March, which I'm certainly going to be picking up and probably obsessing over for several months.
Somebody ran into your window. No, okay.
That's a truck or something outside.
I mean, we're all excited for Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver over here too. I think our IRC has been talking about it pretty nonstop for a while. Pokemon fans scare me still to this day. I was one back in the day, and then my principal stole all my cards. I lost my Ninetales. That was a big deal when I was like 7.
Oh, I remember how underground it was to get a holographic Charizard card in my elementary school days. That was they were fun times, very interesting times.
See, I'm so lame. I still have them all in a big blue binder. Yeah, I have like all the holographics ones. I don't have the Ninetales, but I do have my Charizard.
Oh.
And oh god, I have Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura cards too, which is terrible.
Silly. I have the card captors deck of all the cloud cards, I think, somewhere. Those are neat. I like those. Pokemon was Pokemon has always meant a lot to me. So I mean, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver is a remake of my favorite of all the generations. So I was really happy when they first announced that a while back. And,
I'd honestly be happy to see the yellow one, basically the Pikachu one, just because he was on a surfboard.
You know, I was expecting them to make a remake of that to go along with Fire Red and Leaf Green, but not so much. I was kind of surprised. That would have been an easy extra buck or something.
It's just the adorableness of Pikachu, I suppose. I'm a girl.
No. I really genuinely think Pikachu's a very iconic, strong character, both the show and just the entire franchise in general. You know, he's a cute little memorable design. He kicks butt. Who doesn't love being able to electrocute people?
Our caused seizures way back in the day.
Hey, well, that's true. Yes, it was Pikachu's fault. Everybody blames it on Porygon, but it was Pikachu's fault. But he was just trying to save people from those missiles. And the missiles so it's the missiles' fault. These are red and blue flashing as well. Wow, why do I know this?
I don't know, but it's actually interesting. Go on.
That's it. That's it. Seizure episode. Everybody knows the story.
That's true. Do you, before we get so totally off topic due to my own fault, do you have any upcoming projects that you want to share with us?
Yeah, mentioned earlier, hopefully I will be working on the Parody Rangers movie over the summer. I'm working on a collab project with a bunch of people right now that will hopefully be out in the coming months. I'm not sure yet, because some people can't start on working on their parts of it until March because of spring break, and they'll have time off from class and work and other things. But there's that, and then I'll have my thesis coming up later, probably some other things. But I'm going to. Maybe I should mention this. I'm going to a couple conventions. Supposedly, some of them aren't 100% set in stone yet, but I know that I'm going to Anime Milwaukee, which is, I believe, March 12th to the 14th. And I'll be going there alongside Mr. Little Karibo and Chris Sabat and Wendy Powell and Vic Naga, and Todd Habercorn and a couple other people. And then I think there's the Game Expo in Florida, which I'll be going to alongside Little Karibo again, as well as some of the Team 4-Star folks. And hopefully I'll be going to Anime Evolution in Vancouver. I really, really want to go to that convention, but I haven't worked that one 100% out yet.
You and me both. I really want to go to that convention too, but they've got me going to SakuraCon and MetroCon and Anime Expo.
SakuraCon Gikimon!
That too. That's another way to say it.
Nobody gets that. Nobody remembers the commercial.
Oh!
Oh, come on. No, Vic's brilliantly shot commercial about the anime fans in the little sushi restaurant.
Yeah, I had a blonde moment. You can blame me for that one.
Sorry. I don't know. I thought they might have fallen into obscurity by this point, but some people still remember it.
Now, where exactly is... You said the Game Expo is in Florida, and I would like a little bit more information on that one.
Oh, I don't have... No, I'm the wrong person to ask about that one. I just know that apparently I'm going to it, and it's in, like, July. I don't know. It's, like, gamm-expo.com, I think.
Okay.
Ask Pros about it. He'll probably know more.
Because I have minions that can go to that one. They're in Florida, so I might be sending some minions over your way.
Excellent.
Yes. And you can torture them, which is awesome. I give permission.
Oh, no. I'm not a torturous soul.
Unless it's crows.
Unless it's Kirb. No, I love Kirb. No, I make a point to not make fun of him and rip on Kirb because I love him and he does lots of very, very nice things for me. Like getting me invited to conventions. Yes, it's pretty sexy.
Well, Crows is awesome because he's the reason you're on the show right now.
So, anyway. But, yeah, it's got a couple things, so.
Well, very cool. And I'm being poked that my time might be running short, which is always a sad thing. But I am curious if you'd like to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Sure, what's that?
We were wondering if we could get a bump from you.
Sure.
You're like, what do I do?
Oh, I know what to do. I have another podcast that I do that's actually going to be right after this.
Oh, okay.
It's not mine. I'm just on it a lot. Yeah. Do you want me to do it in a spot? I don't know if I can do it in Corey's voice because they probably won't allow that, but I can do it in other characters' voice if you want.
You can do it in any character you feel is iconic to you, or even your normal voice, whichever.
Some people know me for doing Lord Zet on Parody Rangers, who is the child of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zet. I was about to say something more specific. He was inconceived. I can't say the B word, but he's that kind of child of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zet. So.
Well, thank you for keeping the child protection up.
Yeah, just type what I need to say, and I'll just record that while we're on air.
Yes, that's usually what we ask you to do. We ask you to record it on air so we can get the goof ups. So, Kip is going to type it for me. That way you guys don't hear the little silly sounds, which is always so much fun. But that's the glory of it. We put you on the spot, and we see if we can get any goof ups, and then people laugh. It's not to be mean to you. It's just to laugh. Gibbs, you're a very slow typer. Oh, there you go.
Oh, let's see. Oh, this is in the context of if I were saying it like as myself.
You can change it to your voice at the end or wherever you feel more comfortable.
Hold on. Let me give me like 5 seconds to think of something funny.
And this is the fun part, kids.
Bear with me, folks. I'm sorry. Give me just 1 second.
Don't worry about it. They're used to dead air, especially when they listen to Sandy's show. Dun, dun. I'm making fun of one of our other DJs.
All right, I got it. Here we go.
All right.
I am the Great Zet, son of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zet, and you're listening to 91.8 The Fan, you pathetic heathens. Ha 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 ha!
That was great. Thank you.
No problem.
I love it because it was
Just me being really angry on video games, throwing my controller against the walls or something.
that's interesting because that's my daily life nowadays. It's okay. I work at a game store. I have to get mad at something. But we appreciate you being on the show. And is there anything else you'd like to say to Listenerland?
Sure. Yeah, you can check out my cartoons on Kirbofer.newgrounds.com. That's KIRBOPHER.newgrounds.com. NEWGROUNDS.com. I can spell. I really can.
Yay!
And or you can just go to my site, ChrisNiosi.com, which will probably be in the show notes as well. You can get the links to my blog and my Newgrounds page and my movies and all that other crapola. And I'm not expecting people to be able to get up at Saturday morning at 7 o'clock because no one under the age of 10 would do that. So if you want to check out my episodes with Tori on Pokemon Galactic Battles, you can just go to CartoonNetwork.com where they have the episode streaming legally. My first two ones are up right now, and my third will be premiering this weekend. It's my big focus episode where I get to compete with Ash for catching a Pokemon. A little tease for you there. It's a really, really cool episode, so be sure to check it out. And yeah, so check that out, and if you enjoy my performance and stuff. And thank you for having me on board. And thank you, Crows, for getting me into this as well. I owe lots of thanks for getting me to begin with. So thank you, Jackie.
No problem. And would you like our listeners to be aware of your Twitter, your Facebook, or those kind of personal private?
Yeah, my Twitter is just twitter.com/Kirbofer. And they'll probably find my Facebook anyway. I don't know. I'm picky about my Facebook. My Twitter, I'm not a problem with, but yeah.
All right. Awesome stuff. And obviously, we appreciate you being on the show, and we're going to lead off into Girls' Generation. Ha ha ha.
Oh, man. It's a good thing I came before that. I can't help that.
So stay tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want to hear and nothing you don't, where you get live entertainment 24/7.